a question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Ishwaran, for a very nice explanation. But I won't say a question. Experience is being born in a joint family and growing up in a large joint family in the Indian system gives scope to learn all these things as you grow. Nowadays, problem is more complex because it's unit families. So what is your opinion?
See, in there is a in the joint family system, we have the advantage of very many natures around us. So the child vicariously picks up how it should deal with each one separately, together in the combination. You see that? That's the advantage of family, joint family system. Today the situation is such that, for whatever it is, the kids of these days don't get that opportunity of variety. You see that? Varied nature. Uncle is of a different nature, aunt is of a different nature, my grandmother is different, grandfather is different. I have grown up with a joint family myself. We were about 14 of us in our house. Now any permutation combination is very different. In the house, my father is there, aunt is there, my grandma is there, and I am there, let's say. The equation is very different. My chikkappa is there, my grandmother is there, and I am there. It's a different equation. How I have to behave, what I have to do, what I have to say, all that. This joint family system gives an excellent opportunity for us to learn how to manifest our emotions. But if it is done without a proper guidance, it's a very good possibility the person can become pretty manipulative in the name of expressing it. That's where the genuine emotion needs to be generated. If the positive emotions were not provided an opportunity, let's say, if you master only the manifestation part, there's a very good chance the person can slip into becoming manipulative, becoming very calculative and cunning in the name of intelligence. That's what is happening today. In the name of intelligence, what are we developing, sir? We are developing more of manipulation. Why? That's where this positive emotion needs to be developed parallelly. That is where the elders gave that opportunity in the joint family system. So the joint family system had the advantage of two things. But today we cannot have the joint family system. Why? Simple equation. Nothing complicated there. You cannot have today. We could have it then. Why we could have it then was because one person takes a decision, everybody else following that. My grandfather was there, my grandmother was there, my grandmother will decide whatever expenses to be done in the house. Right, wrong, doesn't matter. In that family, there is a wedding. How much to be given as a, they gave gift, Who decides? My grandmother only will decide. Nobody else will decide. My father is the one who is earning. My chikkappa earns more than my father, but still, grandma only will decide. No logic. It's not that she is very intelligent or anything. She decides, everybody follows. But today the problem is, everybody knows everything. At least, I also believe I know as much as you know. Thereby, joint family system becomes a difficulty. That's all. As a result of which we are not having this. But however, that advantage of that emotional maturity we could get from joint family system, we are not getting it today. It's a loss. And that needs to be, we have to create a method. Every family has to make an opportunity to make it up. How they are going to do it is their intelligence only. Can't do anything.
Kiranjit, there are a couple of questions there for you.
Yes, I just seen that. How do you classify arrogance and pride? Here the person expressing it may feel happy. No. The fellow who is arrogant never feels happy. He is agitated. He is disturbed. Use the same rule, no? That's all. I have already given the rule there to you. Can you be arrogant all the time? No. But you can be loving all the time, isn't it? You can be forgiving all the time. You can stay in forgiveness for a longer period of time. Nothing will happen to you. Longer you stay, happier you will feel. These emotions, I told you this, the rule. The rule is this. In arrogance, longer you stay in arrogance, what happens to you? More agitated you get. Therefore, he cannot. He is not enjoying. It appears to be enjoying. That's where we get duped. That's where we get deceived. It is so deceptive because this negative emotions initially gives you a sense of kick. Now we feel that kick is coming from there. No, it is coming from the disappearance of it. Because the moment I vent out my anger disappears, isn't it? Have you seen that? After I expressed my anger, what had happened to my anger, sir? It goes down. I feel a sense of relief. Exactly like I have a nauseation for food. I vomit. I feel relieved. That doesn't mean every time I have to feel relief, what I have to do? Keep vomiting. Something wrong then. It won't work. Now, why this is case, sir? Because the relief is because of the tension that was there. Like you hold your fist tight for 30 seconds and release. You feel so relieving. The relieving sensation is because of the tension experienced earlier. Similarly, after expression of this emotion, you feel a relief. Means the presence of emotion gave you tension. That's how we identify. Other person does, obviously, if you are arrogant towards me, I will not enjoy it. Correct. There it is very easy to understand. But to understand that arrogance, that pride, that ego, this jealousy, this superiority, this inferiority, all this is negative emotions. Fear is all negative. Why, sir? Because the presence of that agitates your mind. Absence of that, feel relieved. Therefore, express it, you feel relieved. Therefore, what is it, sir? It is negative. Why are negative emotions so sticky? Why they are sticky? Because you had already given so much of attention to it. Why did you give so much of attention? After you express that emotion, you feel relieved. So we think what it's coming from there. That's why you go on feeding it. You see, the feeding is deceptive. Are they heavier vibrationally? I don't understand. What is that, heavier vibrationally and all that? This vibration, energy, I don't understand those words.
Right, okay.
I don't understand that. So I said, okay, anyway. But this is the rule. Why it is like that, sir? This is the thing. Dhritarashtra is an allegory for blind mind. Correct, exactly. Dhritarashtra is that. Dhritarashtra is the classic example of our mind which is blind. That is why they got her married to Gandhari, who had eyes. But she also chose to close her eyes. The mind, which is blind by nature, was wedded to the intellect which had vision to see. but that also chose to close its eyes. A beautiful one, that is. Correct. I think rest are all thanking one.
Yeah, I rest all. Lots of thank yous to you. Thank you so much. And thank you again for adding another analogy to my other, the ones I have already, the curd, the river banks, the waves. Now we have the curd rice as well. So thank you so much. These things will stick with us. Yeah. And thank you so much for that very, interesting thing on feeling coming from the mind and expression coming from the intellect. And that's the way we should actually guide our emotions. So it was very, very insightful. Thank you so much, Ishwaranji. We're grateful to you. And I think you have another session coming up soon. So
Yes.
I won't hold you back too long. Thank you. Thank you once again. And we look forward to your sessions again.
Definitely. Yeah.
All right. So for all the rest of us who are here, we have 3 great programs next week. Sunday, we have our usual yoga program by Umesh Dagatji, and I'll post the details of that. Then on 30th May, we have Dr. Sangeeta Balaprakash, who's going to talk to us on Ayurveda wellness, food, sleep, and lifestyle. And this is the 3rd webinar in her series of talks. So we look forward to that. And on Friday, 3rd July, we have Sri Krishnapani K.C. Raju talking to us on self-centered or centered self. And that will be a very interesting discussion. We will upload all the details on our WhatsApp groups as well as on email to the ones who have provided the email. On Friday, we will start next Friday, which is the 3rd of July. We will start at 7 p.m. as usual. And in also the talk on the 30th of May will start at 7 p.m. as usual. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for your presence and participation today.
Beenaji, we are in June. You have
Did I
been, I
say-
think, by mistake, you have been saying May.
Oh, I'm sorry. 30th June. Thank you so much. Okay. 30th June is when we have the program on the Ayurveda wellness, food, sleep, and lifestyle. So the July one I got wrong. Right, Krishnapani ji. That's
Yes.
3rd July. Okay. So 3rd July, we have Sri Krishnapani ji. And we start both programs at 7 p.m. Thank you all so much for your participation. I'll upload all the details on all the sites, wherever, and WhatsApp groups. And we look forward to your presence this starting Sunday onwards for the yoga, then the Ayurveda wellness, and then to Sri Krishnapani ji's talk. Thank you so much.